Hey guys! In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the things that hold us back from creating the life of our dreams. But before that, I need a background story. So 5 years ago, I quit my job in order to travel around Southeast Asia. I just wanted, to see the world and learn about Buddhism, spirituality, and just grow. But I also wanted to figure out what I want to do with my life. And I felt like being out there, something will inspire me and I will just know what's the next step. Well, the reality was different. I got some clarity in which direction I could go, but I never really took any action in that way. And so I just continued traveling. Obviously, I had some stops back and forth in London just to make some money, and then I continued to travel in India and South America. But at some point, I started to feel a little bit restless, like something was missing. And don't get me wrong, I have collected a lifetime of experiences through those travels, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. However, I knew that I'm missing a purpose. I wanted to contribute to the world, I just didn't know how. And I knew that you don't have to have everything figured out in order to make those steps forward. I knew that it's all about just taking these imperfect baby steps, and things will figure itself out through trial and error and experience. On that intellectual level, I knew all that, and still I wasn't doing anything in order to move forward. And I realized, it took me some time to get there, to know that what is holding me back from taking that first step was that I needed to shift my identity, that I needed to change the way I look at myself. Because even though I was still one foot, I want to go out there and, maybe be a yoga teacher or maybe a coach or this and that, I was still looking at myself from those frames I put myself in, or the society put in, a long time ago. Because that in that spiritual aspect, the way I was raised, no one was pursuing that path. Even my old friends, just this whole background, this path was very new, and that's why it felt so unsafe to fully commit to it. And it took me some really a huge courage to actually realize that I needed to be fully committed to this new version of myself and just let go of this old idea that I had about myself. So what happened? A few years ago, I took a yoga training course in India, and then I continued traveling and teaching yoga as a volunteer. See, I still wasn't able to fully commit. I had my one foot as being a backpacker, and then teaching yoga as well. And I just felt I couldn't commit, or I was too afraid to be fully just a yoga teacher without getting any financial support for going back to London to work a little bit extra. And then one day I created a new CV. Something that supposedly not a big deal, but for me it was very symbolic, because I kind of had to remove, let's just say 70% of my work experience and education from that CV, as if it's no longer relevant, and just creating something from scratch, something that is very fresh, that is new me, that new Carolina that is standing in front, and just creating this new identity of myself through this CV. It was very symbolic, and you might think what's the big deal? I changed my CV all the time. Yes, for sure, but for me it was just a sign that I'm really fully committed, that I'm letting go of the old stuff in order to create new. And what happened? Once I actually, sent out the CVs and I got a full paid professional job as a yoga teacher, everything else after that became easier. So that was just this first step I talked about, that in order to figure out the rest. So will I be just a full-time yoga teacher for the rest of my life? No, but that was this beautiful first step forward. And as I said, everything else I did since that CV just became much easier. All of the scary stuff, just putting content online, advertising myself, or making videos or going live for 21 days in a row on Facebook. Obviously that was scary and challenging, but not as much as that first step. So that's the thing, that we don't have to have everything figured out. Once we're going to be waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect opportunity, we will not move forward. So it's okay to take that imperfect first step and just focus on committing to that and being consistent, and the rest will slowly figure out. And it's all about trust as well. All right, guys, if some of the things that I'm saying resonate with you, or you feel like you just want to go more in depth, it's like, what is those limiting beliefs that might be holding me back? I am also available for sessions as a coach, and I would love to hear from you. If you want to explore in more depth, just drop me a message and we will discuss further. Thank you so much for watching.